Israel played out. But clearly, this administration was aware that this would happen, and now they are trying to make their response known.
Yeah, it's confusing to me. Are they pretending to be mad about it, or are they just taking advantage of it and saying, okay, well, this is just the next best thing? Because that part is confusing to me.
They want these talks to continue.
Joining us now, CNN Chief International Anchor Christian Amanpour and CNN's Oren Lieberman in Jerusalem for us. First to you, Christian. When you were looking at this, Israel says it's going to keep these attacks ongoing. Iran has already started to retaliate. Do you see this as an all-out war now?
Well, it just depends actually on Iran's ability to retaliate. And
I don't think so. Not yet.
And whether the United States or others get involved. As you know, publicly,
we're going to pause this because we've got more popping off right here. Holy shit. Is this the new one? I think that's the old one. I'm like 95% sure that's the old one. I saw that one. Never mind.
That Israel did it alone, unilateral. Here in Europe, our allies have backed off. They've said they had nothing to do with it, and they haven't even said that they would, like the last time, join any protection of the skies over Israel like they did the last time. So people are really not wanting to get more involved.
10 ways to destroy him.
To actually calm down some kind of ceasefire. That looks unlikely. And I think what's really interesting for the United States and for you all to figure out is what is coming out of
And somebody said Trump gave them 60 days, and yesterday was the 60th day. I mean, that's a really big coincidence. It was the 61st day? Yeah, what a crazy coincidence. This just happened to happen at just that time. Trump's credibility just hit a new paradigm with his threats? Yeah.
Israeli reporters are saying that there seems to be a much higher level of coordination between the United States and Israel than is being said publicly, and that even some of the words, some of the actions, including potentially the so-called meeting that's meant to be happening to continue a nuclear deal this weekend in Oman, that was all potentially part of a deception. So I think that is going to be very interesting.
So he just had them... Basically, do you think maybe Trump just had them plan that meeting so they let their guard down so he could kill them? I mean, like, I think there's a good chance Trump did that. Like, I could expect that.
To look at the extent of the U.S. In action in this and permission. What we do know is that Prime Minister Netanyahu has been itching for this fight for years. And we also know that no other American president has allowed any Israeli Prime Minister to take this kind of action. This would be the first time that that this kind of action has been permitted or greenlit or whatever you want to call it by an American president. If you remember,
Axios confirmed that story. I'll pull that up after this.
Pulling out of the nuclear agreement back in his first term. From that moment when Iran was bound and had been verified by the international agencies to keep its uranium enrichment low, it started to produce at higher levels. And what appears to have triggered this movement now is two reports from the IAEA, which is the UN nuclear surveillance agency, which has said two things. One, that Iran has produced up to about 60%, which they believe is, significant, much more rapidly than they expected. And also,
I mean, what do you think the probability is that Iran is trying to develop nuclear weapons? I would say it's 100%. Like, if I was Iran, I would want to develop nuclear weapons. You're surrounded by enemies. Basically, everybody around you is against you. Of course you would want to make nuclear weapons as a deterrent for people to not blow you up. Absolutely.
Я свое дело сделал.
In a second report said that Iran had not allowed them enough access of stonewalling, so access, and that is the latest.
She's making us into a Trump bad story? I mean, I don't know about this. I mean, like, I think that there's a lot of people that are... It's a very tough thing, right? Because I think that there's a lot of people that are big Trump supporters that are also like huge isolationists. They don't want America to be involved in the Middle East, period. We can trade with them, we can deal with them, but I don't want to deal, like, we're not on anybody's side with wars. They want America to play a Switzerland role and just let them blow each other up, fight each other, and not have to deal with it. There's a lot of people that feel that way, but there's also a lot of people that feel that, you know, if Iran does have nuclear weapons, that this is a long-term threat to us. And this will destabilize the region, and it could cause some sort of ripple effect that would negatively affect us. So like, but also true, right? And like, I think both of these perspectives, if you want my opinion, both of these perspectives are extremely valid. Like, insanely fucking valid.
Это был прекрасный бой.
Reports from the IAEA. Israel clearly believes that it had...
And I think also, like, if it wasn't for, like, American voters being disillusioned after 20 years of war, being disillusioned after 20 years of war in the Middle East that has accomplished really, I think in the eyes of the American people, what have we really accomplished in the Middle East? We've replaced the... A lot of American voters don't want to vote to have more wars. Because the last one that we got entangled with didn't get anywhere. Nothing happened.
Neutralized
Syria's Tel Aviv again?
Including Iran. So far,
it hasn't got there yet. That's all.
Relative, only 100 drones have been sent in retaliation.
Yeah.
But no missiles yet, nothing. And also Hezbollah is not involved, Hamas is not involved, other Iranian proxies are not involved. In great part,
Это был
they have been
прекрасный бой.
Israel apparently...
Yeah, well, what she means by that is they killed all the leaders of the terrorist organizations. And I have to say that, I mean, again, as somebody like, I don't like how much the U.S. helps Israel. I find it to be unsettling as an American and not an Israeli. But I gotta say, it's really impressed with the fact that Israel just ends up killing all these guys. They are extremely fucking effective. Like, surprisingly and impressively effective.
Feeling that it, though, was reaching what they call, I believe, a zone of immunity, something like that, where it needs to, where something needs to be done before Iran.
They're good at black ops.
Is in a state
They're
of
really
being able
good
to
at
do
it.
Something without it being able to be pulled back. So this is very complicated. The Arab states, including those who made, you know, agreements.
It's effective when you don't care about collateral. I don't think you can make that argument.
Ты можешь победить.
I don't think you can make that argument when the bombing of Israel looks like this, and the bombing of Iran's, you know, the military leaders they were trying to kill looks like this. I'm not seeing the same thing. I'm sorry.
Не опускай руки.
Abraham
Даже
Accords with
после
Israel are all
поражения.
calling for calm, and we'll
Go
just
to
see
live?
where it goes next. And by the way, it's the Persian Empire and
Not
not
yet.
the Iranian Empire. In Iran right now, the president is making a speech on state television to call for unity and also, as he said, to raise Iran's head up. Clearly, this also presents potentially a matter of survival for the current regime. Back to you.
Christian, thank you so much. Stick with us. Let's go to Oren Lieberman now. Oren, you've been covering this since the wee hours of the morning as this was playing out. I was watching you overnight. Is the attack over?
The short answer is no, it doesn't look like it is. We've been here
obviously not.
in the Bureau in Jerusalem covering these for the last 10 hours since the first wave of strikes occurred. Strikes facility in Natanz and a number of other places across the country. That's where we see that 200 fighter jets hitting 100 targets. But it looks
Нажал
like that
ЛКМ, навел, оно не регает.
the IDF spokesperson
Класс.
just got on camera shortly ago. Over the recent hours.
Просто явно. Просто на похуй мне отменяют действия. Просто браво. Я не рофлю, блядь, просто я нажимаю нахуй, и оно не засчитывает тебе просто.
I mean, you
Последние секунды. Просто на похуй.
does this look like indiscriminate civilian bombing?
Просто выглядит как ебаный.
Прекрасный бой.
I don't think it does. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Like, this is... How much more precise can this be?
Iran's nuclear capabilities
one example.
as
Yeah.
well as taking out Iran's
That's
top
one photo.
military
It is.
and nuclear
Good point.
leadership. And that we have already seen play out. A number of Iran's top military leaders, including the head of the Islamic
Well,
Revolutionary
and I
Guard.
think the reason why is that I think that Israel probably cares more about not alienating everybody in alienating everybody in Iran, because a lot of the people in Iran also hate the Iranian government. Like, you have to keep in mind that, like, they had a complete fucking, like, 180 in 1979. So a lot of the people there hate the government there too. And so they might not, you know, you have like a devil you know type situation going on, right? Where like many of them might not like the fact that Israel is attacking them, but they might also hate the current government. So I think Israel stands to gain or stands to lose a lot more if they indiscriminately bomb a bunch of places in Iran, because they could lose that little bit of good faith that the government, or sorry, that the people there have, that effectively works in their favor against the Iranian government. And I think that that's the reason why it's in their best interest not to just indiscriminately bomb them. Because again, the majority of Iran in totality is not even Muslim. But it's run by a Muslim dictatorship. I mean, a totalitarian fucking theocracy. Most Israelis hate their government. Yes, there's some changes in here, but you can see that, right? Iranians love Israelis. Well, I don't know about love, right? But it's a Muslim war. What the fuck? Wait, what did I say something that was confusing? I mean, sometimes I'll just say things and I don't realize what I said. No, we don't. No, because all the Muslims don't love each other. That's not the case. Like, this Saudi Arabia and Iran don't like each other. They're both Muslim. That's not the case.
Corps and the head of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Air Force have been killed as part of the strike. The latter is significant because he was in charge of Iran's ballistic missile program, and that remains the great fear here, that Iran has the capability to launch hundreds of ballistic missiles at Israel that could overwhelm Israel's air defenses. And he was also responsible or led Iran's retaliatory attack against Israel last April. So he has been, or had been, I should say, in this sort of scenario, and was clearly very high on the list of Israeli targets as they went after, again, not only the nuclear facilities and the ballistic missile facilities, but the top of the military and nuclear leadership, in what is frankly a remarkable sweep of strikes in terms of the numbers, the targets, how far spread across they are across pretty much all of Iran, and in a number of neighborhoods in Tehran itself.
Yeah, let's see if I can read this here. And you're repeating. Let me read this person's comments, because we'll pull this up here.
Iran confirmed that initially
this is
only
live.
the Natanz fuel enrichment plant had been attacked. They struck. This facility contains the fuel enrichment plant and the pilot fuel enrichment plant. At Natanz, the atoll around is part of the fuel enrichment plant, where Iran uranium enriched up to 60% uranium.
Бля, просто в играх моей сложности, если что-то идет не так, можно сразу же консидить, не доигрывать, потому что эти дегенеры будут до конца меня пушить нахуй, без возможности камбэка, блядь, просто на похуй. Просто замечательно. Просто на похуй мне хуярят хуёвые ситуации, значит она так и будет до конца. Хотя ладно, не хуёвая, но... Чел в пятой таверне, блядь, просто ебашит нахуй, нормально. Справедливо. Я левелапнуться же не могу никаким образом из-за того, как мне предлагают карты... Те карты, которые я пропускать не могу. Просто классно. Very nice.
Probably the news never let an Iranian commentator speak. They did like 20 minutes ago. That's not true.
External radiological impact to the population or the environment from this event. However, due to the impacts, there is
Понял
radiological
смысл.
and chemical contamination inside the facilities at Natanz. The type of radiation present inside the facility, primarily alpha particles, is manageable with appropriate radiation protection measures. At present, the Iranian
tells me he's
authorities
lying.
are informing us of attacks on 2 other facilities, namely
Вон, блядь, просто вон. Вон, вот мои карты. Вот карты чела, нахуй. Просто классно. Просто охуенно. Ну, что в таверне и из карт получает чел, вот что получаю я. Very fucking nice.
are located. However, Madam President, I have to inform that at this moment we do not have enough information beyond indicating that military activity has been taken place around these facilities as well, which initially had not, I repeat, had not been part of the military operation.
Yeah,
But
sure.
now there is enough information for me to say to you that these facilities are also concerned. All these developments, Madam President,
Yeah, you can
and
look at
dear
that's the
colleagues,
apartment building that
are
got
deeply
destroyed.
concerning. I have repeatedly stated that nuclear facilities must never be attacked, regardless of the context or circumstances.
Too late for
As
that.
it could harm both people and the environment.
Yeah,
Such
that should
attacks
already
have
happen.
serious implications for nuclear security, nuclear safety, and safeguards, as well as regional and international peace and security. In this regard, as I also reminded the Board of
Did they
Governors
kill
of the
civilians in this attack? I'm sure
IAEA,
some of them did,
there are
yeah.
numerous General Conference resolutions on the topic of military attacks against nuclear facilities, in particular resolution General Conference 444 or 533, which
This guy's just yapping. We'll go back to that. But anyway, somebody's there's somebody commenting. I'll respond to this real quick. You're repeating American warmonger attacks. My turn for criticism. You know what you're talking about? Saudi Arabia and Iran made peace couple years ago. Then why is Saudi Arabia letting them use their airspace? Saudi Arabia is letting Israel use its airspace right now.
Let me clarify. I'm not seeing it from any kind of great source yet.
Yeah.
I don't see it yet. I'm not seeing it.
Peace and close
Oh,
allies
yes.
are different.
Breaking news. Breaking news. Yogg-Saron reports incoming missile sirens sounded in northern Israel and the greater Jerusalem area in a third wave of Iranian missiles launched at Israel. So reportedly more missiles coming in. Now, Yogg-Saron is in Jerusalem. This is 4 minutes ago. Let me put the Jerusalem camera up. Hang on a moment. That is the Jerusalem camera. And I think I have 2 Jerusalem cameras.
Это был прекрасный бой.
People saying cinema for a war starting? I mean,
But that's one.
It's just how people are, right? It's not really a lot to think about.
Ты мой ангел и вред.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any sirens for this yet. We'll wait and see what happens. There's no way it's 3. The missiles will take 6 to 7 minutes to enter the airspace. Check your X. Yeah, I'll look and I'll see if there's any more information about this here too. Because there's been even more of this here. 17 Israelis wounded in the Iranian missile. Holy fuck, look at that. And this is hitting Tel Aviv. God damn. Oh my God. Wow. Well, they didn't stop all of them. Yeah, I'd fucking go inside after that too. Oh my God. Graffiti on the walls of Tehran? Hit them, Israel. Iranians are behind you. I think there's a lot of people that feel that way. I mean, a lot of Iranians don't like their government. Let's see. What is this here? No, I don't know if I'm going to look at that yet. Let me go back and double check. It seems like there's no information. There's nothing happening here yet. Let me put this on.
Ready, present in Iran, wherever necessary, to ensure that nuclear installations are fully protected and continue to be
Well, didn't
used.
they already get attacked? I mean, I think that's like the time for that is over. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. They don't. Every single Iranian hates their government. Well, a lot of people do, right, to defend itself. And
Вот видишь.
check the Yeet tweet about an Iranian streamer getting bombed. What? Is that real? Let me see. What we got? I don't know if I can see it. It's up to me. Yeah, I don't know. Like, no, I don't think he got bombed. I think he heard the sound because I remember seeing the clip circulating, but I didn't play it myself.
Permitted to leave protected spaces in all areas across the country and to remain near them.
I'll see if I can
You
pull
are
it up.
requested to continue to follow the instructions of Home Front Command and the instructions sent to you. So, some conflicting information out there. I have not seen any kind of confirmation from that there is a third wave. There's been several reports of it.
Это существо исполнено силы. Теперь укроти его.
Yeah, I see one of them right here. It's always hard to know whether this kind of stuff is legitimate or not because like it's just being reposted by like kind of smaller accounts, but we're gonna play this video. It says Iranian streamer was live when Israel strikes hit Tehran. You can hear her last. Yeah, look at this. Move it up.
بچه ها چی بود؟ وای
Holy fuck!
آها بچه ها چی بود؟
Jesus Christ. Bro, that would be 1,000% terrifying as fuck. Yeah, it's really something that I think gets lost in a lot of Americans and, you know, like Western people's minds is that how scary it must be to live in a country where there's actually, like, I mean, as an American, you don't really live under the constant worry of getting bombed or getting attacked, right? Like, it's not like a regular expectation. No concept of what it's like to live like this. Yeah, exactly. Like, we have no idea what it's like to live like this at all. And so, like, in LA, well, no, guys, let's be honest, right? It's nowhere even remotely close to this, okay? Like, I get people want to meme around about LA riots, but it's not even in the same universe. I'm sorry about this all.
И просто с нулевого хода все от и до, блядь, атакуется, все раздается нахуй. Просто, блядь, пиздец нахуй. Просто фу, идеальный заход. Дурачка. Синема. А меня хардлочат, и мне никакой информации нету по сбору. Просто классно. Меня ограничивают по картам. Ну смотрите, просто этот бред ебаный нахуй. Просто кекис.
Trump admin refuses to release meal. This is some other shit. Let me see if I can find the rest of it. Israeli spies and pilots crippled Iranian counterstrike. Yeah, I mean they totally got fucked. I don't think there's really. I don't know where that information came from. I don't know
now,
where it is.
Joyce Karam, who's a reporter at Middle East Perspective, she says that given that Israeli Home Front Command said people could leave their protected spaces, she thinks that means that they think this current retaliation is over, which makes sense to me.
I thought they
there's
just.
UN stuff at the nuclear. Hold on. Oh, sorry, I don't want to play that right now.
This is.
I'll keep an eye. The UN is meeting right now on Israel's strikes against Iran.
Yeah, this is it right here.
His military adventure pushes the region to the brink of a large-scale
This is
war,
the UN.
and the responsibility for all of the consequences of these actions lies fully with the Israeli leadership.
We're just going to leave the Russian
It takes an hour for impacts.
speaking
I thought it was
there
15
to
minutes.
get the thoughts of our Washington correspondent Mark Stone, who's been standing by for us and listening to that United Nations Security
I heard it was
Council
15
meeting in
minutes.
New York, meeting over Israel's
I could be
attacks
wrong.
on
I don't know.
Iran
That's
and
what I
the
heard.
counterattacks. And we just heard from the Director General of the International
I'll pull another
Atomic
one.
Energy Agency, Mark, and he was reiterating what many others have said, that the parties to exercise maximum restraint. And he said any military action that jeopardizes safety and security of nuclear facilities risks great consequences for the people of Iran, the region, and beyond.
Yeah, I would assume
Yes,
so.
and he also helpfully outlined in a very factual way what they believe has been hit and the sort of state of play in Iran following the Israeli attacks overnight last night. And a bit of detail as well on potential radiation leaks.
Why do
given
nukes
that
exist?
The targets,
they
or at
work.
least some of the targets, were Iran's nuclear facilities. It seemed to be
pretty
the
simple.
case from what he was saying that they do not believe there is any substantial
work.
health risk as a result
Check
of
Reuters.
of the
Okay.
attacks. But it was very much a sort of bit by bit factual description of the view from the IAEA, the watchdog,
They're blocking the camera?
what was hit and the damage at those various different sites. We have
Oh,
got
shit.
confirmation, Gillian, now that
So this
two
is in
things
Tel
to update
Aviv.
you on. First of all, we know now that the American President Donald Trump has spoken to Benjamin Netanyahu. That phone call was scheduled. It has now taken
Ooh,
place.
what does this say?
We don't have any more detail on that. What we can also tell you is that the US military has confirmed that they have helped to shoot down some of the Iranian missiles that were heading towards Israel. This is to be expected. The Americans
So we're not
have,
attacking Iran, but we're defending
military
Israel?
facilities across the region, in Iraq, and probably got naval assets as well in out at sea.
Yeah, we
all of which could be
100%
used
knew
to
this
help
was gonna happen.
to defend Israel, and that is
But it's not
entirely
even
in keeping
question
with,
at this point.
with
It's
what
obvious.
America has pledged to do. What we don't yet know, what will be interesting, is whether any other Western militaries have become, or Middle Eastern militaries have become involved in this. The last time this happened, when Iran and Israel exchanged fire some months ago now, the Brits, I believe, were
Да,
involved
что
in helping to
Overabysmal
shoot down
round
some of
one.
those missiles, as were the Jordanians.
Я не буду это
So we
писать,
will
что
see
что
whether
это.
there's any new information on that in the coming hours, but confirmation now that the Americans certainly have helped to intercept some of the missiles launched by Iran.
Not a
Yahu
surprise there.
that's come in to us, in which he's addressing directly the Iranian people. He says, "To the proud people of Iran, we are in the midst of one of the greatest military operations in history, Operation Rising Lion. The Islamic regime, which has oppressed you for almost 50 years, threatens to destroy our country, the state of..."
They don't know what will hit them. The nation of Iran and the nation of Israel have been true friends since the days of Cyrus the Great. And the time has come for you to unite around your flag and your historic legacy by standing up for your freedom from an evil and oppressive
Надеюсь, of course.
Я свое дело
It has
сделал.
never been weaker.
Удачи.
This is your
Я же монетку не в состоянии прокрутить.
your voices be heard.
This is why they're trying
Просто
not to
пиздец.
attack civilians, I think.
Life, freedom, zan, zandagi, azadi. As I said yesterday and many times before,
Это был прекрасный бой.
Israel's fight is not with you.
Все с чего-то начинают.
It's not with you, the brave people of Iran whom we respect and admire. Our fight is with our common enemy,
Право.
a murderous regime that both oppresses you.
Больше мне другого триплета не предложит, если я его скипну. Если Дигнер это захочет, просто если хочет он мне сломать игру.
The darkness.
Если я это засейвлю, я буду замедляться очень сильно и будет очень много голды. И мне всю игру будут не давать карт. Классно, классно.
So that just... I don't remember seeing that yesterday.
А с триплета гарантированно не будет ничего такого, что можно позлотить.
Тебя не остановить.
Либо меня будут перегонять намеренно рисовано.
Today? I didn't see that.
Вот мои сюжеты. И ровно наоборот те сюжеты, которые я говорю. Все просто классно. Просто пиздец. Абсурд. Абсурдик.
I'm gonna pause this and just listen to this here. We already heard that.
Iran's president responding, saying that its level of force and its actions will make Israel regret the actions that it took earlier today, similar to the pager operation that Israel carried out last year in Lebanon.
Yeah, I remember
this
that.
one also took years of planning.
Crazy that was a year ago.
This footage earlier this morning of the Operation Rising Lion between the IDF and Mossad, which began at 3 a.m. local time, although preparation began long before. The mission included Mossad smuggling vehicles and drones into Iran, setting up a drone base in Iran, and activating the drones this morning to hit Iran's surface-to-air missiles. At the same time, the IDF deployed 200 aircraft. These were mainly fighter jets to hit roughly 100 targets in Iran. All of this aimed at hitting the heart of Iran's nuclear program. Today, the Israeli military says it also destroyed dozens of radar installations. Multiple explosions were heard at Iran's Natanz nuclear power facility. This is Iran's main enrichment facility. Now, back and forth today between how much has actually been hit and the level of damage there. Iran claims that it's still standing, but Israel says it has been severely damaged.
I mean, that's not even like neither one of those outcomes are good. I mean, like, oh wow, you destroyed the nuclear facility. Uh-oh. Right? And if you didn't, then they still have nuclear facility. Yeah.
We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program.
Ну, блять, что просто толку нахуй. Если не выиграю, блять, опять, как всегда. Я могу на следующий ход позолотить просто, чтобы, блять. Мне нужно будет. Но просто классно. Ну да, я мог выиграть, нахуй. Мне это рисует, что я мог выиграть. Full story. Блять. Просто никаким образом я не мог это выиграть, нахуй. Показывает, что я могу выиграть. Потому что я пропустил озлочение сюда. Блять, просто ублюдки, нахуй. Если бы я позолотил, они бы ядом ударили. Просто класс. Блять, просто цирк ебаный, нахуй. Они бы либо ядом ударили, либо нарисовали сильный стол.
It was an ultimatum, and they're dead now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen now, because like, are they gonna have new guys negotiate with Trump? Like, I would not want to do that.
Not have been carried out without the coordination and without the approval of the U.S. The IDF says most of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps high command was killed while gathering in an underground headquarters, including several of the highest-ranking military commanders. We do expect the number of military officials killed to grow in the coming hours as we get more information about how all of this was carried out this morning. We also know that Iran says as many as 6 nuclear scientists were killed in these attacks. In response, Iran launched as many as 100 drones towards Israel. All of those were able to be struck.
Кубики на 6, нахуй, Юдора, нахуй, Рафам, который усиленный, который не усиленный, нахуй. Бля, это просто, блядь, какие ублюдки, ебаные, это просто онг. Просто онг. Просто факин онг. А, я должен был это выигрывать. Я это мог выиграть. Я мог это... Я, оказывается, мог это выиграть. Что? Я мог это выиграть, блядь. Нихуй. У меня был потенциальный шанс на победу, нахуй, против Юдора, который копает против меня 4, после того, как против меня ставят кубики на 6, выбивает после того, как меня рафамы, после того, как меня 10 лет такую хуйню показывают, нахуй. Я, оказывается, мог выиграть, блядь. Охуеть, охуеть. Я, оказывается, мог расставиться поближе. Поближе мог расставиться. Вау. Нихуя.
let me turn this down a little bit for you guys. Sorry about that. So, there it is. Here's the Axios tweet. Well, I don't know where it is exactly. Trump is going to get U.S. troops killed soon. Well, I don't think that a lot of U.S. troops are being deployed here. I think this is just him. Yeah, I mean, let's be real, right? It's him operating and attacking them through Israel. That's very obviously what's happening here, right? I mean, like, everybody can see this. It's a proxy war? Yeah, this is unironically the most fucking obvious proxy war of all time. So yeah, it's war through proxy? Yeah, exactly. I'll take on troops. Well, either way, so Trump basically is coming out and admitting this. 2 months ago, I gave Iran a 60-day ultimatum to make a deal. They should have done it. Today is day 61.
Самое забавное, мне в самом начале, в первый день показывали подобное захода, нахуй, на похуй, и то пушили меня в топ-2 максимум и так далее. Просто классно. Теперь смеют стабильно показывать всем остальным, пока меня ебашут в 0 нахуй. И точно так же не идут за ней топ-1 и пушат в 0.8. То есть у меня счета сосредоточены между топ-2 и 8 нахуй. С концентрацией в топ-8. Нормально, справедливо. При идеальной игре. Да, просто без комментариев. Чего говорят, на похуй им все раздается, все линейно, я сижу один думаю.
And that Israel has a lot of it with much more to come, and they know how to use it. Well, I don't think he was bullshitting there. And certain Iranian hardliners folks spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They are all dead now, and it will only... Oh my god. Holy fuck. Worse than dead, yes. He died like a dog, yes. Oh my god. Yeah, certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They are all dead now, and it will only get worse. There has already been great death and destruction, but there is still time to make this slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal. So he's already threatening them again. He's saying, oh my god. Blackmail? Yes! Yes, that's clearly what he's doing. Israeli military representatives speaking out. I'm not seeing it anywhere. Yeah, I'm not seeing that anywhere. I can't find this. We'll go back and find it after this. But anyway, that's not good. And anyway, let's see if I finish this. Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left. And save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction. Just do it before it's too late. God bless you all. So, I mean, like, at this point, he basically is saying, we killed you and we're gonna do it again. That's it. Like, I mean, that is literally what it is. The U.S. is officially involved in a war, according to Fox News. Yeah, I mean, like, he did it. Like, that's what it was. Is he speedrunning impeachment? No. Why would he be speedrunning impeachment? I don't see why would that be happening? Yeah, I'm just confused. How come they're only attacking Muslims? Because it's a Muslim theocracy in Iran. And the government's run by extremist, radical, religious people. That's the reason why. Ban bro for being ignorant? Oh, he's trying to create a narrative. Why are you taking credit? We killed them. You did gang signs in the background. That's not what happened. I bet the U.S. gave them a lot of the technology. They might have given them intel. They secured and told them that we would protect Israel whenever the counterattacks happened. They did protect Israel when the counterattacks happened. They gave them assurances behind the, behind closed doors. That's clearly what happened. We funded this up to assumptions. It's not an assumption. I mean, at this point, it's really, like, I mean, what do you think the odds are that were negotiating with that couldn't come to an agreement with you again. What are the odds? What are the fucking odds? And so this happened, and he even goes and he says it himself. I told them what to do. They couldn't. He literally is admitting it. Yeah, he put him in the fucking death note, exactly.
Полезные предложения, нахуй, чтобы забахать эту карту и... Просто классно. Играем. Играем. Хули не играем? Хули не играем?
And they did. They protected Iran from the missiles that got shot at them. So it's pretty obvious that's what's happened.
Into the region over the course of the past few days, which certainly would suggest that they were aware that Israel was about to carry out the attack that they did last night.
Protected Israel.
So there are naval destroyers that are positioned off the Israeli coast
My bad.
to shoot down missiles.
It'll happen
we know
again.
that the Americans have
Of course мне дают, когда я уже просто на похуй кидаю карту.
To defend Israel, and that is what they do. I've just spoken to a Jordanian source as well, who has confirmed to me that the Jordanian military was also involved in helping to shoot down some of the drones that initially came over from Iran, and potentially the missiles as well.
Do you really think this wasn't
drones and
coordinated?
missiles would have crossed Jordanian airspace as they headed towards Israel, and according to the official, Jordan will not allow its own area to become part of the conflict. We will counter any penetration to our airspace, so said a Jordanian source to me. So many different...
Malcare with the U.S. once again provoking a war. I'm very divided on the topic, and I don't know what to think, if you want me to be totally honest. I really don't know what the right thing is, and I don't know what the right thing to do is. Because I view Iran having nuclear weapons as an existential threat. I've seen this before, but I also think that, you know, like, starting another war is an existential threat. So I don't really have, like, a super strong, like, oh, this is what I believe, this is what I think is, like, I'm sure this is the truth or whatever. I don't have that viewpoint, to be honest with you, I don't. Yeah, a threat to who? I mean, anybody. You know Iran can't be allowed to have nukes, Islamic nut jobs? You're going a bit too far, putting the bulk of the blame on the U.S. Israel said they were going to do this for years. No, and I think that's a good point. You're right, and I don't think that the U.S. is like, you know, the mastermind behind all of this. I think the U.S. basically said, okay, it's been 60 days, you guys can attack. Like, I'm sure that the U.S. basically, in some way or another, confirmed that there would be some level of security to this. But this is probably a prime... Like, it's not like this is all the U.S. doing it, but the U.S. is in the background backing it up. Does that make sense? Like, that's kind of what my viewpoint on this is. And I think that makes sense very much. Pakistan Prime Minister just released a press release that's saying that they won. Really? Did he post a picture of, like, the end of Super Mario World or something? Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the U.S. has been playing the I'm holding them back leverage to get a deal done. Yeah, exactly. Trump told him to hold off for 60 days and it wouldn't help defend before they attacked it beforehand. Yeah. Doesn't Iran say death to America all the time? I don't know if they do, but I mean, Iran isn't Iran is not an immediate threat. I mean, they're on the other side of the world, so it's harder for them to, like, attack us immediately. A lot of people are discussing, they're talking about, like, no, don't go to the protests and don't go to the events tomorrow because people are anticipating a terrorist attack. I mean, obviously, like, it's unsure whether that's happening or not, or that's going to happen, but there's a lot of people that are talking about that and saying it now. Iran sleeper cells? Yeah, that's basically what's being implied. Yeah, and this isn't... Having a nuclear weapon is good for anybody. I mean, let's be honest.
His social media site earlier this morning, where he kind of was playing the good cop to Netanyahu's bad cop. Netanyahu has taken a military action. Donald Trump is still holding out, he thinks, for maximum pressure resulting, the maximum pressure of the military attack, resulting in a return to the negotiating table and falling in line with the demands that the Americans and the Israelis are making to stop enriching uranium and not to seek a nuclear bomb. Donald Trump is claiming this afternoon in a couple of interviews that he has done that he believes that the Israeli military action overnight last night makes the prospect of a deal more likely, not less likely. Now, I think in the short term, it is less likely, but perhaps if I mean, it is the case that Iran would clearly needed to be seen to retaliate. It couldn't not retaliate for what Israel did
they had
last night.
Of course they had to.
I suppose
it's obvious.
The calculation in both Israel and here in Washington